Hey everyone, I'm JP, and this is Good Talk HQ. In today's episode, we'll be showing off a bunch of the great holiday eShop deals that you can pick up right now as part of our continued sales coverage. Don't worry though, if you've missed any of the other episodes, I'll be sure to link them down below. If this happens to be your first time here, welcome to the channel. We cover Nintendo Switch games and deals a few times a week, and we love sharing the savings with our wonderful community. If you enjoyed the video, please consider becoming part of our extended family by hitting that red button down below to subscribe. We'd love to welcome you into the group, plus it'll enter you in for the free eShop gift cards that we give away at the end of each month. All you have to do to enter is be sub to the channel and leave us a comment so we can find your name and add it to the current list. And to the extended family, welcome back my friends. I hope you're having a great holiday season. Thanks for an amazing 2021. You are the heart of the channel and you made this whole journey a lot of fun. So again, thank you and much love. Alright folks, and with all of that said, let's jump into the list and try to save some money together. As always, stay safe out there and please enjoy the video. Alright, we'll start with Wizard of Legend. This is an action-adventure style game from Humble Games, available for 1 to 2 players in local co-op, and offers a main story that will last roughly 15 hours to wrap up. It has a download size just under a gigabyte, and this is a fast-paced dungeon crawler with an emphasis on the dynamic combat system. You have to think fast and move quick, and if you can do so quick enough, you'll be able to chain together spells for massive damage bonuses. The game has more than 100 different spells that you can find and combine in cool different ways, and this gives the player a level of freedom to how they choose to play. You can either dive headfirst into combat or let your minions do the work for you, and of course you can do it all solo or with a friend in co-op. If you're interested in Wizard of Legend, be sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 70% to a new all-time low of just $4.79. Foregone is a single-player action platformer from Big Blue Bubble and offers more than 10 hours of main story gameplay with a download size around 1.4 gigabytes. Now this is a fast-paced 2D platformer with amazing pixel art graphics and an immersive soundtrack. We take over the role of a super soldier tasked with defending our city by uncovering the secrets of the past. Along the way you find and collect a vast arsenal of powerful weapons, as well as learn new powerful skills that you'll need to face off against the final boss. There are tons of enemies to have some fun with, and the game is highly recommended whenever it's on sale, and right now you can pick it up until January 1st. It's marked down 75% to a new all-time low of just $4.99. Mark of the Ninja Remastered is a single-player outing from Clay Entertainment, the same folks that gave us the survival game Don't Starve, and can take over 15 hours to wrap up with the download size around 3.6 gigabytes. This is a 2D platformer with excellent controls, smooth animations, and a great soundtrack once again. Now while the story's a bit on the lacking side, the gameplay more than makes up for it. The kills are brutal and the gameplay is engaging. I really like the simple yet extremely satisfying stealth system that they have in place in the game, and one really neat feature is that you have the option to play completely stealth or just go nuts and rush into battle. If you're interested in Mark of the Ninja, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 75%, matching a previous low of just $4.99. 9 Parchments is a cooperative shoot-'em-up style RPG from the creators of the Trine series, and it has a main story that should last roughly 8 or 9 hours to wrap up. In this one, we play as a group of runaway apprentice wizards convinced that they can complete their training on their own if they just find and collect the 9 Parchments. The game is beautiful on the Switch and it runs great too, plus there's loads of collectibles and upgrades that you can find, spells to unlock and master, and fun to be had with a group of friends. In addition to local co-op, it also has online as well, making this a great value, and if you're interested, be sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 75%, matching a previous low, again of just $4.99. A Short Hike is a single-player action platformer with a unique pixel art style of graphics, and it has a main story that will last roughly 3 to 4 hours to wrap up, with a download size around 430 megabytes. Now while the story for the game is pretty short, it's definitely one that will grip you and pull you in. Players get to hike, climb, and soar through the peaceful mountainside landscapes of Hawk Peak Park. You're left to explore at your own pace and in any direction that your heart desires, and one particular highlight for us was the soundtrack. It did a great job of really adding a level of immersion. This is a game I think everyone should at least try out once, and right now if you're interested, it's on sale until January 1st, marked down 30%, matching a previous low of just $5.59. Next up we have Chasm. This is a single-player retro-style action RPG from publisher Leadman Games and has a main story that will last roughly 10 hours to wrap up. It has a download size around 1 gigabyte, and in this one players will explore the depths below the remote town in the mountains to investigate a series of strange disappearances amongst the townsfolk. The game is heavily inspired by older Metroidvania-style dungeon crawlers and features a truly immersive and ever-changing world for players to roam around in. The art and sound are once again top-notch, and the boss battles were a particular highlight for us as they're massive and epic. If you're interested in Chasm, right now you can grab it up for just $5.99, marked down 70%, matching an all-time low until January 1st. Iconoclasts is a single-player 2D adventure game from Bitfrost Entertainment that will take roughly 10 to 15 hours to complete, and it has a download size just under 200 megabytes. In Iconoclast, players explore a large world filled with challenging puzzles, interesting characters, and plenty of bosses and baddies to keep you busy. In fact, the game features 20 intense boss battles and an amazing retro-style aesthetic and sound. There's also a few difficulty settings to add accessibility for younger players, and if you're interested in Iconoclast, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on December 31st. Right now it's marked down 70%, matching the previous low of just $5.99. Shakedown Hawaii is a single-player adventure game from publisher VBlank Entertainment and offers roughly 10 to 15 hours of main story gameplay, again with the download size just under 200 megabytes. The game follows 3 protagonists through a 16-bit open world that feels alive and absolutely supplanted from the 80s. It plays like an old-school GTA with a top-down view, and your goal is to become the biggest business tycoon on the island. This does mean by any means necessary. Now once you finish the main story, which again was outstanding, there really isn't a whole lot of replayability, but for that one play alone, it's worth the price. Right now you can pick it up on sale until January 1st, marked down 70% to a new all-time low of just $5.99. Evergate is a single-player adventure platform game from Stone Lantern Games with a main story that will last roughly 7 to 10 hours, and it has a download size around 3.7 gigabytes. In this one, players wield their soul flame and unleash extraordinary powers as you dive into the touching story of 2 kindred spirits. Now this is a journey through the beautiful and haunting Afterlife in this unique 2D puzzle platformer. The game also has a really cool time-based mechanic allowing you to slow time and then use these crystals that you find to unleash your full power. The gorgeous environments paired with the original soundtrack were top-notch, and if you're interested in Evergate, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on January 1st. It's currently marked down 40% to a new all-time low of just $5.99. Risk of Rain 2 is a 3D adventure game from Gearbox Publishing and is available for 1 to 4 players in both local and online gameplay. It has a download size around 3.1 gigabytes and offers more than 30 hours of chaotic action. In this one, we find ourselves stranded on an alien planet and we must fight our way through hordes of enemies to make it to the end. There are 12 distinct different areas, each packed with challenging monsters and giant bosses. Plus, they give you the option to either fight your way to the final boss right away or escape and continue your run until you feel ready for the final challenge. The game also has an incredible amount of items that you can find and combine together, which keeps it feeling fresh, and this is another game that hasn't been on sale in a while, and a great value when you can catch it. If you're interested in Risk of Rain 2, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 75% to a new all-time low of just $6.24. Haven Park is a single-player exploration game from Moon Eye Studios with a download size around 570 megabytes and roughly 3 to 4 hours of main story gameplay. However, with the crafting system and the peaceful nature, you'll probably get a lot more time from the game than that. In this one, we play as the new park ranger, so to speak, and it's our job to restore the park back to its former glory. The game does encourage exploration, and it lets you set up and build camps all around the island, plus there are even a few secrets scattered around. The characters and story are both charming, and the music is incredibly peaceful, as I said before. If you're interested in Haven Park, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 25% to a new all-time low of just $6.74. Blazing Chrome is a 2D arcade-style run-and-gun shooter from the Arcade Crew with a download size around 140 megabytes and a main story that will last roughly 3 to 4 hours. Plus, it's available for 2 players and co-op as well. In this one, machines rule the world and the human race is on the brink of extinction. It's up to us to take out the machines and regain control. There are 5 amazing levels full of hundreds of enemies and some really cool boss battles that you get to fight as well. The retro graphics and sound really give this an authentic arcade feel, and with the local co-op, the game becomes even more fun. If you're interested in Blazing Chrome, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 60%, matching a previous low of just $6.79. Ghost and Apples is an addictive and deceptively challenging puzzle game from rough cyberhumans with a download size around 220 megabytes, and it also has 2-player local co-op that is a blast as well, making this a great value and one of my favorite games on the list. There are more than 150 handcrafted levels, 2 distinctly different playable characters, and they even have different game modes. Plus the soundtrack was top notch as well. What's really cool is that while you play, you'll unlock new paintings in this house that you go through, and they act as the levels. But you can even find secret rooms and special rooms with some really cool NPCs that you get to talk to. It may look simple, but trust me, this game is way tougher than it looks at first. It's easy enough for young gamers to jump in, but it's also challenging enough for veteran gamers. Right now you can pick it up on sale until January 1st, marked down 30% to a new all-time low of just $6.99. The Swords of Ditto, Mormo's Curse is an action RPG with a top-down view from Devolver Digital, available for 2 players offline with the main story that will last roughly 15 hours to wrap up. Now this is a unique game where every adventure becomes its own legend. The good and the bad decisions that you make, your successes, your failures, all carry over to the next run and have an impact on future adventures. In fact, this can even affect the items and upgrades that you'll be able to find as well. The game is full of beautiful environments, a thumping soundtrack, and secrets everywhere to uncover, and you can take on the main quest line or just tackle any number of the different side quests available. If you're interested in Swords of Ditto, Mormo's Curse, make sure to pick it up while on sale before January 1st. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $7.49. Slay the Spire is a single-player strategy RPG from Humble Games, offering a main story that will last more than 40 hours, and it has a download size around 540 megabytes. Now this is a fusion of a deck-building card-style game mixed with a roguelike mashed together for a great experience. Like with many deck builders, the key to success will come from trial and error, finding the best combinations of cards to fill out your deck. The game world is an ever-changing one where each trip up the Spire will give players a new layout, so the game doesn't start to feel stale too early on. As you travel through the Spire, you find different powerful relics that you can use to greatly enhance your deck, making easy work of the enemies that you encounter. If you're interested in Slay the Spire, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 70% to a new all-time low of just $7.49. Into the Breach is a challenging single-player turn-based strategy game from Subset Games with a download size around 450 megabytes, and it has a campaign that can last 20 to 40 hours, making this an excellent value. Now Subset Games has given us an amazing strategy game here with some twists to the normal mechanics that add a fresh spin on the genre and really help the game to stand out. The game has amazing level variety as well, and fans of tabletop style games will surely enjoy this one, as the Switch version is perfect both in docked as well as in handheld mode. There are enough tutorials and a difficulty toggle, making the game easy enough for newcomers and satisfying enough for longtime fans. And if you're interested in this one, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 6th. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $7.49. Next we have Ys Origin. This is one of the greatest single-player action RPGs of all time, coming to us from .emu, and offers players roughly 20 to 40 hours of main story gameplay, depending on how much you want to explore. The game has a download size around 2.5 gigabytes, and it features 3 different playable characters with different skill sets and abilities, gorgeous environments, and multiple game modes as well. There are loads of relics and other collectibles to find, and some of the best music in any game. Plus, the boss battles are outstanding. If you're a fan of the series or action-based JRPGs in general, you should definitely consider picking this one up before the sale ends on January 1st. Right now it's marked down 60%, matching an all-time low of just $7.99. Axiom Verge is a single-player action platformer with a main story that will last roughly 15 to 20 hours to wrap up, and it has a download size around 320 megabytes. After an accident at the lab, a scientist wakes up in a mysterious alien-filled world. Players will have to explore this new maze-like world filled with horrific monsters, mechs, and our own internal demons. Along the way, you search for new weapons, items, and abilities that you'll need to progress further into the story. You can even use items like game glitches to manipulate your enemies and to help solve puzzles. If you've never played Axiom Verge, it's definitely a must-buy when on sale, and if you're interested, you can check it out until January 1st, marked down 60%, matching a previous low of just $7.99, and the sequel is also on sale. Hand of Fate 2 is a single-player tabletop deck-building RPG with a download size around 3.7 gigabytes and a main story that will last more than 40 hours. Now this is a blend of multiple genres all rolled into one, and they managed to pull it off flawlessly. The blend of deck building and questing is truly rewarding, and it can be quite difficult at times. It is a battle of wit and strength against the mysterious dealer, but if you choose your cards wisely and make it through to the end, you'll have played one of the best deck builders on the Switch. If you're interested in Hand of Fate 2, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 67%, matching a previous low of just $9.89. Golden Force is an adventure-style platformer with a gorgeous pixel art aesthetic and a charming story, available for 1 to 2 players in local co-op with a story that will last roughly 3 to 4 hours to wrap up. The game features 4 playable characters, an old school level of difficulty, fantastic boss battles, and loads of secrets to find. You'll be able to explore all 4 worlds solo or with a friend locally, which as you know we always love here at the channel. Players take on the role of 1 or 2 of the elite Golden Force with promises of gold and epic battles. This is definitely one of my favorite games, and it was part of the No Gravity Games giveaway this year, so make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 13th. It's marked down 55% to a new all-time low of just $9.99. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is one of many great 2D adventures in the series from publisher WayForward and can take roughly 5 to 10 hours to wrap up. Now this is the 3rd game in the main series, and at its release it was the biggest game in the series. We once again play as the purple-haired genie, but this time we've lost all of our powers, so we have to team up with our nemesis, a nefarious pirate named Risky Boots. You'll have all new abilities, and many of them are needed to advance the story, defeat enemies, and take down the epic bosses. Right now you can pick up Shantae and the Pirate's Curse along with many other games in the series on sale until January 1st. This one's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $9.99. Sea of Solitude, the Director's Cut, is a single-player adventure game from Quantic Dream with a download size around 1.6 gigabytes, and it has a main story that will last roughly 4 to 5 hours. This game is beautiful on the Switch, and the storytelling is top tier. It's one of those games that's more of an experience than just a game, and this version was rewritten with an all-new script, and they even added voice acting into the cutscenes as well. Plus there are even some console exclusives as well, making this one of the best ways to play the game. The story is very emotional, so be warned. If you're into a good narrative though, this is definitely a game I recommend and worth checking out while on sale until January 1st, marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $9.99. The Ninja Saviors Return of the Warriors is an amazing 2D retro fighter for 1 to 2 players in local co-op and offers roughly 4 to 5 hours of main story gameplay. The download size is around 670 megabytes, and it does offer a little replayability, so your mileage may vary. Now this is a reboot of a classic game and puts us in the role of one of the 5 android ninjas as we brawl our way through waves of different enemies. There are 8 different levels that we can fight through, either solo or, like I said, for the first time in the series with a friend and co-op. They've improved the mechanics and sound, and this is a great value when it's on sale, and right now you can get it for half price, marked down to just $9.99, matching an all-time low, and definitely worth checking out. Fight and Rage is an arcade-style fighter from Blitwork Studios and offers a main story that will last roughly 20 to more than 200 hours to beat, depending on how much you want to complete. The game also has several different endings, an awesome combo system, loads of different unlockables including costumes, characters, and even unlockable enemies as well. One of the most unique features in the game is the local co-op, which is available for up to 3 players at one time. There are even some challenge stages and modes designed for the most hardcore gamers, and if you're interested in jumping into this harsh world controlled by mutants where humans fight for survival, be sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's currently marked down 50% to just $9.99, matching a previous low. Blue Fire is a single-player platform RPG coming to us from Graffiti Games with a main story that will last roughly 10 to 15 hours to wrap up, and it has a download size just over 5 gigabytes. In Blue Fire, players embark on a journey through the various temples and locations filled with increasingly harder platform challenges while completing quests and finding collectibles along the way. This one is all about fast-paced movement and quick reflexes, and the art style is phenomenal, and once again the soundtrack was top-notch. Now this one's been called a cross between Wind Waker and Sunshine, and I think that's pretty accurate. If it sounds interesting to you, consider grabbing it up before the sale ends on January 1st. Right now it's marked down 50%, matching an all-time low of just $9.99. Pode is a 3D puzzle-style adventure game from publisher Henchman & Goon with the main story that will take roughly 4 to 6 hours to complete, and it has a download size around 2.8 gigabytes. The game's also available for 2 players in local co-op, and in fact it was actually designed with co-op in mind, and it really is a blast if you have a friend or a sibling to play with. The story revolves around a rock and a fallen star who have to solve puzzles together in a stunningly beautiful world. You get to explore an ancient cave system to try to uncover its hidden secrets, and you can even combine the 2 characters' special moves together to overcome the different tougher puzzles. Now, as I said before, the game was designed with co-op in mind, but it's completely playable by yourself and it's still a great time. If you're interested in this one, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on January 6th. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $12.49. Phoenotopia Awakening is a single-player retro 2D RPG. This time it comes to us from Cape Cosmic, and it has a main story that will last more than 50 hours. The game has a gorgeous retro look and sound to it, and they were absolutely top-notch once again here on the Switch. It features a challenging combat system, unique puzzles, and it encourages exploration as well. The story itself revolves around a young girl who, while out gathering the rest of the children, gets sidetracked, and while away the entire town disappears, leaving just her and her friends to uncover the mystery. Along the way you face off with tough bosses that test your skills and reflexes, uncover secrets, find hidden paths and collectibles, and of course form friendships with different NPCs that will ultimately help you save your hometown. Right now you can pick up Phoenotopia Awakening on sale until January 6th, marked down 35% to a new all-time low of just $12.99. UnMetal is a single-player comedic take on the Metal Gear series and comes to us from Versus Evil with a download size of just 570 megabytes and a main story that will last more than 10 hours. In this one we play as Jesse Fox, a man who was imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit. We retell the story to the audience while we're being interrogated upon our return from being imprisoned, and the gameplay is absolutely amazing. The story had me laughing from the very beginning and I couldn't wait to finish the game. The voice acting is also absolutely top notch, and this game is a true gem on the eShop in my opinion. It's shown from a top-down view with pixelated graphics, and I promise is well worth picking up while on sale until January 1st. Once again marked down 35%, matching an all-time low of just $12.99. Curse of the Dead Gods is a single-player action-adventure title from Focus Home Interactive with the main story that will last more than 40 hours and a download size around 4 gigabytes. Now this is a skill-based roguelike set in a dark temple with endless rooms and hallways that you can explore. You definitely want to proceed with caution though, as there are deadly traps around every corner. The game features several different weapon types including both melee and ranged weapons, dozens of enemy types with amazing and tough boss battles as well, and each run is altered a bit from the last by the curse system that they have in place. If you're interested in Curse of the Dead Gods, make sure to check it out as it's on sale until January 1st, marked down 30% to a new all-time low of just $13.99. Death's Door is a single-player adventure game from Devolver Digital with a download size around 2.7 gigabytes and a main story that will last roughly 8 to 10 hours to wrap up. Now the controls will take a little bit of getting used to, but once you've got the hang of it, you'll be good to go. The atmosphere and music are top-notch here with this one, and it's a must-play game in the genre. The boss battles are unique and challenging, and while the game is definitely tough, it never feels unfair or cheap. The combat system is amazing, allowing you to blend magic use with melee weapons, and each of the levels were a blast to play through. Fans of pure action games should definitely check this one out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 25% to a new all-time low of just $14.99. DUSK is a single-player FPS from New Blood Interactive with a download size around 2.8 gigabytes and a main story that should last roughly 10 hours or so to wrap up. The game sees players battling through 3 different campaign episodes, all handcrafted and full of possessed baddies to mow down. We have access to a vast assortment of weapons, both melee and ranged, plus when you finish the campaign you can jump right into the endless survival mode. Now the game may look and feel like it's from the 90s, but it plays butter smooth at 60 FPS on the Switch, and it has some modern day features like the weapon wheel and gyro aiming, so anyone can jump right in and have fun. If you enjoy good retro FPS, make sure to check this one out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 25% to a new all-time low of just $14.99. Eldest Souls is a single-player action RPG from Fallen Flag Studios with a download size around 1.4 gigabytes and a main story that should last between 6 to 8 hours to wrap up. The story takes place after humankind has decided to rebel against the spiteful gods and imprison them within a large citadel. In a final act of vengeance, the gods decide to unleash a great desolation across the land. Now the game is incredibly hard and has some amazing boss battles, gorgeous graphics, and an emotional story, plus the game is just fun overall to play. You're basically battling through different combat scenarios and bosses as you work towards the ancient citadel. If you're interested in this one, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 25%, matching a previous low of just $14.99. Terraria is an action RPG with a retro aesthetic from Pipework Studios, available for up to 8 players online, or you can play by yourself if you would prefer to do so. The game offers more than 100 hours of gameplay, and it's always a fan favorite. Now this game has been available on other consoles for a while, but it finally came to the Switch in 2019, and it's been a top seller ever since. Players get to dig, explore, fight, and build in this procedurally generated world where you start with next to nothing but a pickaxe and you just get to explore. It's a blend of action and sandbox exploration with over 300 different enemies, 20 different boss battles, and 20 different environments as well. This really is a massive game with so much to do and so much to find, and if you still haven't played it, definitely check it out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $14.99. Streets of Rage 4 is an amazing beat 'em up from a long-lasting franchise that offers a main story that will take roughly 5 to 6 hours to complete. However, there's a lot of replayability here, so you may end up spending more than double or triple that with the game. You can also play in local co-op or online, with local being available for up to 4 players and online limiting that down to 2. Now this was a glorious return to the series and features beautiful hand-drawn graphics and animations, an absolutely fantastic soundtrack, and that classic gameplay we all love. There are even a load of unlockable characters as well, and this is a great value. Right now you can pick it up until January 1st, marked down 40%, matching a previous low, again of just $14.99. Next we have Death's Gambit, the Afterlife edition. This is a single-player action RPG with some platforming thrown in for good measure. The game features an expansive world with over 20 beautifully crafted levels, intense boss battles, multiple difficulty levels, and an alternate ending as well. Now this is a true Metroidvania featuring non-linear exploration where you have to unlock movement and combat upgrades in order to progress through the game. In this edition, you also get 10 new levels, more than 30 new weapons, and 5 new boss battles, making this a great value and a perfect way for fans of the original to revisit the game and even see some new stuff. If you're interested in tough Metroidvanias with loads of content, make sure to check out Death's Gambit Afterlife Edition before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 20% to a new all-time low of just $15.99. Hades is a single-player action RPG from Supergiant Games and offers players more than 40 hours of main story gameplay with a download size just under 6 GB. So many people have expressed their love for this game, and I was happy to see it go back on sale. In this one, we assume the role of an immortal prince of the underworld, wielding powerful weapons and abilities as we battle through hell on our way to fight the god of death himself. Now the game is gorgeous and has nearly perfect controls. It also gives you some permanent upgrades so you don't have to worry about losing everything after each run. Plus on top of that, each new run offers new surprises, so the game has plenty of replayability. If you're interested in Hades, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 1st. It's marked down 35% to a new all-time low of just $16.24. Alright folks, and as always, here are some other games to check out while you're already on the eShop. Alright folks, that's going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. Thanks as always for hanging out with us again today. You know we truly appreciate it. I definitely hope you had a good time or maybe found a deal or two that you were interested in. Happy holidays to everyone out there, and if you missed last episode, I'll make sure to link it down below. Also, if you get a chance, consider stopping by Little Man's channel. We have more gameplays and daily deals and sales list over there as well. Thanks again, you all are legendary. Have a wonderful week everyone. Much love, and we'll let Little Man take us home as always. Bye everyone.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!